I got to University of Florida fall of 2020. It was kind of a last minute decision, and I came in the middle of COVID. And so when I got there, I wasn't really allowed to leave my house. I was allowed to go to practice. I had to wear a mask. I had a really, really hard time connecting with, folks in the team. I was really, really isolated, and it was really, really hard to find other believers, get to a church that, I liked. And so I was kind of just doing this by myself, right? So we didn't really have a Bible study leader. And so when Coach Anthony Nesty took over the men and women's programs last April, he's a believer. And it was a huge goal of his to have this really, really strong team Bible study. So I had a bunch of conversations with him, talking about this and how important this was to me. And so he was kind of like, okay, you're going to take this. You're going to be the communication between, the Bible study leader and the rest of the team. And I was like, okay. And so we had like a little bit of turmoil at the beginning of the year, just trying to figure out leaders and stuff. But we finally got with Noah, praise God. And it's just been incredible ever since then. I mean, I have learned so much about myself. I'll never forget. This is the one story I wanted to tell. There was this one day in October when we were kind of, we went through our normal devotional, and then at the end, we had a big group that day. It was probably 6 or 7 girls and maybe 4 or 5 guys. And Noah looked at me and he was like, I'm going to take the guys. We're going to go pray and, do our thing. Why don't you go take the girls and go pray and do your thing? And I remember sitting there like, he expects me to pray out loud in front of 6 people. Oh my gosh. But I didn't let myself think about it. I was like, God, just lead this prayer. And the girls in that group will tell you that is probably the most beneficial time, because, not only do I sit there and pray for them, we sit there and we're vulnerable with each other. We talk about the things that we're struggling with, the things that we want to pray about. And I had one of my teammates came to me in February, right before our huge championship meet, and I was having a really, really hard time. It was a day that I kind of called Noah crying, and I was like, please pray for me. I'm really, really having a hard time. And that day after, I prayed over the group, this girl came up to me and she was like, Katie, I don't think you understand how much I look to you for strength. You are, whenever I'm feeling not confident or whenever I feel, I'm worried or anything, I look to you because I know that you're standing firm. And I guess I hadn't realized how much I'd grown, how much the Lord had taken me until that point. So I'm just really, really grateful for the group that we created. Everyone comes back week after week. It's the highlight of my week. No one will tell you that it's the highlight of his week too. But yeah, I'm really, really grateful for the opportunities and for how much I've been given this year.